Welcome to my English channel, YouTube channel for the first time. My name is Yoko. I'm from this town in Japan called Minami Uonuma. It's very beautiful, nice and snow. I'm now above the roof of my house. Okay, you can see how much snow we have here. So in this hometown, a lot of snow. One of the most snowy places on earth. I'm born here, I was raised here, the city of 50,000 population. But I left Japan when I was 15, and after 20 years, I lived in 9 countries and I came back 8 years ago. I was helping refugees in Africa, Asia. I was working for the United Nations. And 8 years ago I came back here with my child. And I found my hometown the most beautiful place on earth. It's so safe here, you can see. It's so beautiful. Mountain. I can go skiing in the winter. I can do river swimming in the summer. My kids love here. And I got a new mission here. I was helping people outside Japan for most of my life. But now I realize that the people I really have to help are actually in my hometown. My hometown, the city of Minami Uonuma, it's 90 minutes train ride from Tokyo. It's like a very snowy place in the Niigata prefecture. Very famous for its rice called koshihikari rice. Uonuma-san koshihikari is here, okay? And if you drive like 20 minutes this way, you see Yuzawa ski resort area, one of the most famous ski resort, winter ski resorts that a lot of foreigners come and ski there. So it's very beautiful, good food, good tourism, but somehow people are suffering. People are suffering and I want to help them, okay? So in this city, every year we have about 14 to 15 people committing suicide. So it's like 28 to 30 people per population of 100,000 people. That's almost twice more than the national average of Japan. We lost 160 people in the last 10 years in suicide. And the highest ratio of the age group of the committing suicide is people in 80, elderly people. So I want to help them. People are suffering here. But then the budget, the city, the municipality doesn't put enough budget on suicide prevention. They put only $5,000 per year out of $300 million they have on the annual budget. They put only $5,000. No dedicated staff for suicide prevention. So I thought I have to change the politics. And I ran for mayor 2 times because the budget is not right. Yeah, I want to change the politics and put more budget for the people in elderly or people in welfare. But then I lost 2 times. Last election, it was only 3 months ago. The incumbent mayor, who has been there for now 8 years in office, in the first election he won to be mayor, he promised to reduce the water price. But then he didn't do it. And he even increased the water price for the elderly people 2 years ago. And in this election, he didn't say anything about the water price. And I said clearly in the campaign promise, I will reduce the water price. I will make school meal free, school meal in Japan. Most of the municipalities, people have to pay for their own school meal. But 30% of municipalities, they don't charge anything to their children, the parents. So my campaign promise was basically to reduce the living cost, water price. In Japan, water price is different from municipality to municipality. And this year, one of the most expensive water prices in Japan. If you drive to 20 minutes outside the municipality, the water price will be half the price of this city. So water price is very high, suicide rate is very high, but the budget is increasing. Okay? The budget for the last year was $300 million. That's the highest budget ever. But still, they don't put more money for welfare. They put more money for constructions. Constructions of a new school meal center, construction of the health center, construction of schools and touristic buildings and stuff. But income is still very low here compared to other parts of Japan. If you work for the 7-Eleven here, convenience store, 24-hour convenience store, you can earn like $6 to $7 an hour. If you move to Tokyo, that can be $10, $11 an hour. But then living cost is high. Look at this snow. You have to have a house that can melt the snow on the roof. To do that, you have to have a kerosene to heat up the roof, or you have to have water that is pumped up by the electricity to melt the snow on the roof. Or you have to do physically, like me, physically to do the shovel. And a lot of elderly people are dying because they have to do this by themselves. They have to shovel this snow by themselves. Yes, the city help only some people. If you're above 65 and living with no children, and there's no relatives or families living around, and your income is low, then you can ask the city to help you with the snow removal from the roof. But otherwise, you have to do it yourself. If you ask them to do it, you have to pay like $1,000 per time to remove the snow. This is a lot of work, you see. Do you see it? Okay? This is a lot of work. Okay? I like exercise. I do a lot of sports, so I enjoy it. But then people in 80s, many of them live by themselves. Do you think they can do this? It's not easy. So they have to ask their friends or relatives, or sometimes they have to do it by themselves and they fall off on the roof and die. 1 year in this prefecture, more than 10 people can die from removing the snow. Most of them are elderly. It's so beautiful here, but then nothing, like there's no like statistics that shows that city is improving. Number of babies born per year is now 285. 10 years ago it was more than 500 or 600 babies per year. Income level is still the same. Living cost is getting more expensive because of after the Ukraine war in Ukraine, electricity is expensive, food is becoming expensive, gas is getting expensive, and the children's academic performance here is also low compared to the national average. So every year 700 people, we're losing 700 people in population. So 10 years ago, city was 60,000 population, 60,000, but now it's 50,000, 52,000. Every year we are losing 700. But 8 years ago, it was like every year 400 down, but now it's 700 down. So it's clearly that the situation is not getting good. People are killing themselves, people moving out, especially young people. That's why the number of babies born is decreasing. And I wanted to change that, saying, let's put more money on welfare. Let's reduce the water cost. Let's put more money to help elderly with this snow removal. Let's make more playground for children. I did all the campaign promise, but then I only received 5,000 votes compared to the incumbent receiving 18,000. 18,000. He won more than three times more votes than me. This is the reality of Japanese local situation. Japanese local situation, we have 1,700 municipalities in Japan. Most of the mayors are belonging to political party called LDP, Liberal Democratic Party. That is a ruling party of Japan for last 50 to 60 years. Continuously, except for 3.5 years. And 2021, there was one statistic that there were 500 elections, mayor elections in all the municipalities in Japan in 1 year. 90% are won by incumbent. Okay? Incumbent. 30% of them, there was no ballot because there was only one candidate, which is incumbent. So there was no election. Only one candidate, so he or she won automatically without ballot. And this 90% of the incumbent winning ratio shows how strong LDP is in the local countryside. And that's why LDP can stay in power. That's one of the many reasons why LDP can stay in power for such a long time. They did a lot of scandals, many scandals, but still they can win the election. So I wanted to change that. I want to change from this small community in Japan. Welfare, child care, all those things should be priority compared to constructions, buildings. Population is declining. If the living cost is high because of the snow, you see, it's obvious. If you have no snow, then you don't have to have the roof that has a kerosene heating system or electronic water pumping system. So if you rent an apartment here, it can be as expensive as the apartment in suburb of Tokyo area. So I want to change that. I want to change to the politics that is more welfare friendly, child friendly, to help the needy, so people don't kill themselves. And who can help this one? Who can help this one? Maybe you, who is watching this YouTube, who doesn't speak Japanese, who is outside Japan, if the outside world pay attention, maybe people here may notice, oh, maybe we have to change something. We have to change something. Yeah? It's so beautiful here. I love here, So I want to stay here, and I want this place be better, more friendly to everybody, especially the weak people. And if you need help with this snow removal, you are more than welcome, baby. I am very strong. はい。はい。どうも、どうも。はい、折れた。ありがとうございました。